Warm welcome, this is Markus Termin, Astrologisches Stundenbuch, Astrological Book of the Hours. It's the Good Friday, Karfreitag as we say in German. I'm not speaking in my native language, as you might notice, so I might get the one or the other word a little bit wrong, but that's not... I'm trying to improve it. Okay. See the chart of today. We still have the Scorpio moon right now, and the Scorpio moon is doing a complicated angle towards the Aries sun. This is the chart for the change of the Scorpio moon into the sign of Sagittarius, and this is going to happen this evening, Middle European summertime. No, not summertime yet. Time, they're trying to change times again. Regular time up to now, and so basically the change to Sagittarius will happen this evening, so it's a full Scorpio moon day. And I put out the chart for the last aspect of the moon, which is going to be a trine to Neptune in the sign of Pisces, which is well fitting for the Good Friday. Because this is a spiritual touch, there's a deep feeling behind that, and Scorpio moon, is not afraid of the bloody thing that is behind that too, in some sense. Now, looking at that chart, we can say it's a day of ease and change at the same time, because we do not have too many complicated aspects, In fact, there are none. It's full of trines and sextiles and things like that. And also, we are still under the influence of the very nice reception in between Venus and Jupiter. Now, that's basically the situation. The only thing, Pisces is dissolving structures. I keep on saying that. And of course, Lilith in the sign of Neptune tries to save some of the dissolving structures, and they are not doing it 100% legally. Just look up at the skies. I'm not going to say any more about that. Lots of folks... So what's the vibe of the day? The central vibe of the day, in my sense, is the trine in between Moon and the Piscean forces. So it's general a spiritual day, which is good for the celebration. We must say it again and again. Good Friday is actually on a full moon. Full moon is over. We don't have no full moon. The regulation of the regular calendar, or even the church calendar towards the Easter festival, is scientific already. Nature says, of course, the crucifixion happened on full moon, so that's not the energy we're in right now. But we got to come back to the congruent fitting of the regular calendar to what astrology teaches, because that is the truth. Now, there's one other thing, lots of other things out there in the information cybernetics, as I call them, which is they are starting this CERN large particle collider thing again at the date of the sun eclipse, the total sun eclipse, which is going to be visible in the States, if somebody's listening to me in the States, which is going to happen at the 8th of April, which is an important thing to happen because US is the leading force in the world. There's a sun eclipse, it's visible and it's important, and it's in the sign of Aries. And those sun eclipses, if they are full, they send their vibes, their feelings like 2 weeks in advance. So we are full in the pre-sun eclipse preparing time, And I put out a chart for you, which is absolutely interesting for astrological research, if some of you might be out there to do some research, as you can see, in the inside, we have the very start of the, let me get the right one. So we have the right time. In the inside, you can see this is the very start of the CERN particle collider, and it's mind-blowing, this chart, because here you might see there's Venus, Mars, and Mercury in the sign of Libra when it started, which was 2028. You know, this was the first. CERN itself is older than that, but the large collider started at this very day, at this very point of time. And then you see Venus, Mars, that's like Isis and Osiris, you know, and the Holy Child Horus, Mercury, right with them. And then Libra is the sign of measurement, of weighting things, of division, and division in the sense of putting a value to things, you know. And look at that. I mean, this is like pure old alchemistic physics, you know, waiting for the moment when Venus and Mars, the passive and the active principles, come together, and Mercury, the Holy Child, puts its salt to it. It couldn't be pointed out better. Now we can for sure rule out that behind that there's somebody doing astrology and choosing this point of time. So this is very interesting in the sense of what is in matter really? How can we find out, you know? And it's been reflected by astrology. And that shows us, and that is going to show us, that there must be a secret connection in between science and astrology still. Though maybe no conscious mind is really doing it, but it's existing. Now, why are they putting the CERN? The CERN might be the right pronunciation. I don't know that exactly. I'm German. Why do they put it on the agenda right now? What is the outcome of this big machine? Now, to say it clear, and that is most astonishing at the next time, outside is the stars of the restart at the 8th of April. You know, it's opposite Mercury and things like that. Who's interested in that? But to make it complete, what I'm trying to say is the outcome, the scientific outcome of this CERN apparatus is none. You know, this God particles and having a new order and trying to find out what the myomes do and things like that, because all those particles they are searching for, they don't exist in reality. They are just the attempt to put an order to a electronical atomical system of recognizing matter, but the way they are trying to do it is by destruction, by destructing things. And that goes to show that all the direction of science is destruction. The direction is destruction of the living things to transform them and to make artificial things out of that, to put the whole of nature into an artificial scheme, or scheme. Sorry for pronunciation today. Gets better when I talk to English people more. So that goes to show you there's a miracle in CERN, obviously, in Geneva. That's about magical, alchemistical miracle, but it's not about progress in science. It's something different. And so being suspicious about that and thinking what kind of forces are being used at this place is not completely wrong. But those people thinking about that, of course, believe in the scientific hoax world of relativity and spooky particles that go from somewhere in no time and all that, and they think this is of any value, this is of any good. And it's not. So looking from that perspective, this big apparatus is a big piece of junk, actually. But as we see, it's being reflected in astrology, the human need to find out what it's all about, what is matter really, what's the difference in between matter and energy and things like that. But actually they are not asking these questions. They lost philosophy, so they are lost. They don't have no clue, because if you want to find out things, you first got to know what you really want to find out. They are lost completely. Maybe this is the evil part of it, Anyhow, have a good Friday today. Remember, it's a trine in between Sun and Moon. It's a spiritual trine because Neptune is been touched. It makes a trine. Moon makes a trine to Neptune this evening, and it's Good Friday. And let's start in a good Easter time. I'm not talking too much about the spiritual value behind that because I'm an astrologer. And if you want to have a personal reading of your chart, this is the way to get in contact with me. Up there, this email address, and down there in my blog page, you can find the conditions for a consultation. See you tomorrow, and have some of the sound.